Let's talk about that dreaded message on your phone, no signal. What if it just disappeared forever? Well, that's the massive promise behind a huge new project from Apple. And today, we're going to dive into exactly how they plan to pull it off. I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? You're out on a hike, maybe driving through the middle of nowhere, and you look down at your phone, nothing. Just that one super frustrating phrase. It's got to be one of the most universal modern problems, right? But what if the fix wasn't about building more cell towers on the ground? What if the solution was, I don't know, hundreds of kilometers straight up? Well, that is exactly what Apple is reportedly working on. A wild plan to connect your iPhone directly to satellites. Now, let's be clear. This isn't some small software update we're talking about. This is a massive leap, way beyond the emergency satellite features Apple already offers. We're looking at a total reimagining of what your phone can do when you're completely off the grid. And this slide really shows the crucial jump. Right now, it's basically a one-way street for emergencies. But the ambition? Oh, it's full-blown two-way communication. We're talking voice calls, text messages, maybe even some basic data, all without a single bar of cell service insight.
So yeah, this isn't just about emergencies anymore. It's about everyday life. It's about being able to stay in touch or find your way no matter where you are on planet Earth. It kind of changes everything.
Okay, so it sounds like something straight out of a James Bond movie, right? But the tech behind it is just fascinating. So how in the world does a signal actually get from your pocket all the way up into orbit and back again? The secret sauce here is something called low Earth orbit satellites, or LEO for short. Now, unlike those big traditional satellites that are way, way out there, these guys orbit much closer to us. Apple's partnering up with companies like Globalstar to build out a whole network of these things that can essentially have a direct conversation with your phone. And the journey your message takes? It's basically a four-step relay race. First, your iPhone shoots a signal straight up. Step 2, a LEO satellite flying overhead catches it. Step 3, that satellite immediately beams the signal back down to a ground station. And finally, that station connects to the regular internet and sends your message on its way. And all of this happens in just a few moments. It's incredible. But, making this actually work is not easy. Apple has to solve some seriously tough engineering puzzles. You need totally new kinds of antennas inside the phone, incredibly advanced modem chips, and maybe the biggest one of all, you have to figure out how to manage power so that talking to a satellite doesn't just kill your battery in, 5 minutes. So we've got the what and we've got the how. Now let's get to the real juicy part, the why. Why is Apple investing billions of dollars into this space-age tech? Well, as you'd expect with Apple, there is a very, very clear strategy at play here. When you break it all down, their massive push into satellite connectivity really comes down to three main motivations. First up, it's all about safety. This fits perfectly with their whole brand of creating life-saving tech, like crash detection. Second, it's about innovation leadership. I mean, no Android phone really has this at scale, so it gives Apple a huge leg up. And third, and this is classic Apple, it's about expanding their ecosystem. Just imagine iMessage or the Find My network working absolutely anywhere. It makes their whole world of devices that much more indispensable. Okay, so that's the tech and that's the strategy. But what does this actually mean for us? For the people who are actually gonna be using it? Well, the impact could be massive, both around the world and right down in our own communities. I mean, the most obvious winners are clear right away, aren't they? Anyone who spends time away from cities. We're talking travelers, hikers, climbers, emergency first responders, and of course, people who just live in rural or remote areas. For them, this would be a reliable communication lifeline. And let's make this really concrete for a second. Think about a country like India. You have these huge, beautiful regions like Himachal or the Northeast where cell signal can be spotty at best or just non-existent. For millions of people there, this technology wouldn't just be some cool new feature. It could actually bridge a fundamental communication gap. It's a game changer. But of course, rolling this out globally isn't as simple as flipping a switch. There are some major real-world hurdles.
Apple has to get licenses and approvals from local governments in every country. They have to secure the right radio frequencies so they don't interfere with anything else. And they have to figure out a price that makes it affordable for the average person.
So, when you put it all together, the path forward seems pretty clear. The whole idea of your phone connecting directly to a network in space is quickly moving from science fiction into what's likely going to be a reality very, very soon. Which really leaves us with one last big question for you to think about. For that promise of true, global connectivity, that peace of mind that comes from knowing you can always, always connect, what is that worth to you?
And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like this video, share it with your tech-loving friends, and subscribe to Technically Speaking Today for more deep dives into the tech shaping our future. Until next time, stay curious, stay